imagine what that can look like. Some people say that we should put food banks out of business and that food pantries are not the answer to hunger. Many have argued that the charitable food system takes the government off the hook from providing a strong and stable safety net. I understand this argument. I agree that food banks are a stark example of how our government has failed. We absolutely need a stronger and more secure federal safety net, starting with livable wages and including federal food assistance programs, affordable housing, healthcare, and childcare. But here's the thing. I think those of us in the charitable food system of food banks and food pantries took ourselves off the hook too. For many years, we stood on the sidelines of policy debates and didn't pressure the government to strengthen the social safety net. For many years, we served more people, distributed more pounds of food, built bigger warehouses, and focused on feeding people today. But change is happening. Food banks and food pantries around the country are promoting equity, creating nutrition policies, advocating for federal nutrition programs, and developing paths to stability. I want to be part of the change. How about you? Let's harness the amazing energy, talent, resources, and goodwill of this massive national network. Imagine the systemic changes we can make to promote health and financial well-being and reduce stigma and inequities when we collectively work together. My background. In 1994, I accepted a summer internship at the Food Bank for New York City. I worked as a food bank monitor, and I visited over 100 food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters to make sure they were abiding by the food bank rules. I traveled through all 5 boroughs of the city, rode almost every subway and bus line in the city, and saw more sections of the city than many native New Yorkers. It was quite a learning experience to witness people lined up for bags of food in trash-strewn neighborhoods in the South Bronx and in tree-lined neighborhoods in Manhattan. I spoke with many food pantry directors and with many food pantry clients about their experiences dealing with food insecurity. I have a vivid memory of visiting a food pantry in Lower Manhattan on a beautiful Friday morning with ample sunshine and a bright blue sky. The beauty of the day was spoiled by the fact that dozens of people were lined up, wrapping around a corner, waiting to receive food. They slowly moved toward the front of the line until eventually being handed a bag of food. Volunteers would pass bags up the steps from a hatch door in the basement where the food was stored. It wasn't glamorous, and it definitely didn't feel like picking up food at a grocery store. This scene would replay again the following week and the week after. That summer, I realized that handing out food is not enough. We need more holistic approaches to the problem of hunger. Throughout my career, I have interviewed hundreds of people who have experienced food insecurity and asked about their coping strategies and their opinions about food pantries. I have seen firsthand what poverty and hunger look like. I have sat on mattresses in living rooms that serve as bedrooms. People have shown me their empty refrigerators, and parents have described their anxiety about getting enough food for their families. I have witnessed hunger in Connecticut, one of the wealthiest states in America. These experiences fueled my commitment to understand the problem and its root causes and to try to develop long-term solutions. For the past decade, I have collaborated closely with Feeding America and multiple food banks and food pantries around the country. In 2018, I began working at FoodShare, the regional food bank of Greater Hartford, Connecticut. Being on the inside of a food bank gives me firsthand knowledge of the complex operations involved with collecting and distributing charitable food, and a clearer understanding of the challenges and opportunities we face as a national charitable food system. But first, gratitude. Throughout this book, I may seem critical of our charitable food system. I will point out flaws, I will challenge the status quo, and I will argue for change. But please don't mistake this for disrespect. I have a huge amount of admiration for the incredibly caring and hardworking people who address the problem of hunger in their communities.